Welcome, everyone, and Happy New Year. We are officially in 2023. Before we get into the forecast for January, I just want to mention, of course, that this is a general forecast. If you would like a personal reading, or if you would like your own personal year ahead forecast, book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. Here we go. So a new year, a new energy to work with. We leave the energy of the 6 behind in 2022, and we jump into the very practical and very ethereal landscape of the 7 energy for the universal cycle of 2023. So if you haven't already, again, be sure to listen to your previously posted 2023 year ahead forecast for your specific life path number. Those are up on my YouTube channel and my podcast for your listening pleasure. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to first look at the collective energy for January 2023, which will sort of explore the cycle that we'll all be working with for this month. And then we'll take a look at the month ahead, including the energies for the new and the full moons of January for each life path number. Okay, so January 2023 is an 8 universal cycle. And so what this means is collectively we will be feeling much more focused, much more determined, and more motivated this month. So we're ready to make big strides on some of our greatest visions, and we can feel the excitement growing around creative projects and collaborations that sort of fuel our passions. This energy is saying, let's go. Under this energy, it's important to not see limitations as indicators that something is not achievable or that it isn't for you. We're meant to acknowledge those limitations and then call in the people and the resources that are the experts within those areas to assist, while we focus our own energy on the areas where we are the experts and where we can let our light shine the brightest. 8 energy understands the importance of collaboration and teamwork. It doesn't try to do it all alone, and it certainly understands that it isn't the expert at everything. The goal is to focus on and emphasize our own strengths while also allowing others to contribute in the same way. When we try to be the best at everything and fail to see our own limitations as an opportunity to allow someone else's strengths to shine through, then we restrict ourselves and, in turn, restrict others. So this is a great month to ask for assistance and to accept that assistance without trying to control it, right? So the month of January may start off a little slow, but by mid-month, the energy will be pushing us to get started on whatever it is that we set our sights on. Money and financial affairs could also come up this month, and you could see sort of an influx of resources, perhaps an uptick in clients or sales. Or if you've applied for, a new job or a promotion, you could see that come through at this time. New contracts could be initiated at this time as well. So if you're a freelancer or again, like work with clients, you may see an uptick there. Or for some, unexpected costs could surface at this time to have you to take a closer look at your spending and or your money management. This is a great energy when it comes to career or how you sort of make your money or your resources in the world. So if you're looking for work or if you're looking to change jobs, this is a very supportive energy to help you not only get your foot in the door, but bust through that door and get seen. So again, this is great energy for getting your name out there, putting yourself out there, getting seen, being recognized, getting those promotions, getting more clients, getting more sales, all of those things. This is very ambitious energy that we're working with, right? Or we have the opportunity to work with. Don't be afraid of taking risks this month, especially mid-month and onwards. Don't be afraid to promote yourself. And again, get your name out there, get yourself out there. Don't be afraid to be seen in whatever ways feel aligned for you. Not necessarily what feels comfortable for you, because sometimes we do have to step outside that comfort zone, right? But in ways that feel aligned. So it feels good, even though it might be a little scary, or it might be, again, different from how you're used to doing it. That is the power of the 8. It's going to sort of push us beyond our again, beyond those comfort zones. And that can include, again, like asking for assistance, asking for where you need help, where it is that you have those limitations. There is power in that, and the 8 energy is going to assist us in doing that. The energy of the 8 reminds us that if we don't speak up and ask for what we want, then the answer is always going to be no. So be confident and bold and go for it. This vibration will also ask us to sort of proceed with honesty and integrity. Shady business isn't supported under this vibration, and using others to get ahead now might work initially, but the fall will be greater than the rise. So anything done without integrity, especially under the vibration of the 8, is not sustainable and will eventually crumble. So it's best to build from a foundation of honesty and integrity to begin with. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the month of January for your specific life path number now. Life path number 2. So I pulled an animal spirit message for you all for January, and you got peacock energy. This is such beautiful energy for 2s, because 2s are typically, especially when they're in their higher expression, they are very much concerned about like others and bringing people together in harmony, and again, like doing for others and assisting others, and they have a tendency to put others first a lot of the time. And so what I love about peacock energy coming through, and what I love about the energy that you all are working with for January, which is 1 energy, and I'll talk about that in a moment, is that it sort of shifts the focus a little bit from others to self. And I think sometimes it's really important for 2s to step into that energy, especially because, again, if you're sort of more in the higher octave of your 2 energy, so much of your contribution and your experience has to do with other people and relationships, and how to maneuver through those relationships and do it in a harmonious way that doesn't cause or create division, but brings people together and all those things. And so there's a lot of sort of external focus for 2s. So I do love when the focus sort of shifts a bit for a while for 2s, where it comes back to self. So with peacock energy, there's definitely this energy around like independence and strutting your stuff, and not being afraid of being seen, and not being afraid of being recognized for your contribution and your worth and all of those things, and having that confidence, again, of like knowing your worth, and not being afraid of sort of focusing on yourself for a little while. And like, again, like if you want to improve your appearance in some way, not for others, but so that you feel good about yourself, or if you want to shift your furniture or something like that, right? Like to shift or change the aesthetics of your home so that it looks and feels good for you. This is a great energy to do that, especially with peacock coming through. There's also like this energy of like expansive thinking, where when it comes to peacock, where again, it's like you don't really care necessarily, and I know it's easier said than done, but you don't necessarily care about what others think. What feels good for you, what looks good for you is what you're going with, right? And so it's not so much about pleasing others and making sure that everybody else is okay with whatever you're doing, as long as you're not harming anybody, right? But it's like, it's more about like, how do you feel about it? How, what makes you feel pretty or handsome or put together, or yeah, like what helps you to be able to strut your stuff in a way where you've got that level of confidence and you feel good about yourself in a healthy way, right? So peacock energy coming through is assisting you in doing that, and it's incredibly beautiful. So this energy coming through is giving you sort of the permission or the green light to focus on yourself, to beautify your space, to go and splurge on yourself and buy the outfit or buy the new car or the whatever, right? Whatever sort of makes you feel good, right? In the moment. This energy coming through is sort of saying, go for it and do it without apology, right? What I love about that coming through for January is that for the month of January, not only are you working with, just like the rest of us, the energy of the 8, but you're also working with this current energy of the 1. And so again, this brings it back to self-expression, to autonomy, to independence, to doing things in a way that feel good for you without always taking into consideration what other people are going to think or what other people need, because they're responsible for that themselves, right? Like to make sure that they have what they need and that sort of thing, and to make that happen for themselves. That's not your responsibility. And so the 1 coming through that you all are working with this month is, again, just sort of shifting the focus a little bit to say it's okay to be a little self-centered at times, to be a little bit in your ego at times, because that's what helps you sort of get ahead, right? That's what kind of pushes you to put your needs first. And sometimes twos have to do that, right? We all have to do that at times. So when we have the opportunity to work with 1 energy, it just makes it a little bit easier to do that, where for twos, you're not going to feel as much guilt or shame. Or if you do, you need to move beyond that, because this month, January, is trying to set you up for success for the next 12 months. And in order to do that, there needs to be the focus on self and what you need in order to thrive, and what you need to be able to feel good in your own skin as you move through this journey. And so you may see that you feel a little bit more independent this month, in January, that you want to go after your own goals, and that, it's kind of like you're putting it out there, and the people who are going to be supportive are the ones who are meant to go on this journey with you. And the ones who are not supportive of what you need, maybe they need to take a back seat for a while, right? And so there could be, like I said, there could just really be a strong emphasis this month for you all on self, on autonomy, on again, like going after what you need, on doing things that feel really good for you without taking everybody else into consideration before you sort of pull the trigger and go for what it is that you want. 1 energy is very much the trailblazer energy. So again, I feel like this is sort of setting you up for recognizing your own empowerment and stepping into that empowerment so that you can go after and create the things that inspire you, which again, can feel uncomfortable, because a lot of times twos, especially when they're in their 2 energy, are so focused on harmony and balance and bringing people together. And you shouldn't like step away from that, but there has to be this level of, again, recognizing what you need, taking that into consideration, and finding your center with that. So this 1 energy is going to help you to do that. And it's also going to give you that confidence, or it's going to be there for you to find your confidence in order to stand up for yourself, to make sure that your ideas are being heard, that you're being taken seriously, that you are being respected. It's a very strong, empowering, driven, self-driven energy. There's a fire to it. And so again, it's what you do with that fire that's going to make the difference. But this energy is definitely coming through for you to just know it's okay to strut your stuff and not feel guilty or shame about that, right? To express yourself in the way that feels really good for you. And so Peacock and 1 energy are helping you to do that throughout January. So definitely take advantage of that. Let's see. And also I want to just mention, this energy will help you to sort of speak your mind, and again, not sort of adjust what you need to say so that others don't get upset, or others don't So again, so you're taking your own needs and desires and your own truth into consideration and communicating that, right, in a way that others might like or they might not like, but that's not for you to worry about this month. Okay, so January 6th, we have a full moon. And for this full moon, you all are going to be working with the energies of the 7. So there could be something coming to completion, to culmination, or being really highlighted when it has to do with your physical body or your holistic health. So there could be something that comes into your awareness for consideration, again, where it's like it could be like a solution to something, or coming in for you to try something new when it has to do with your holistic health. It can also have to do with your connectivity to the unseen, so like the higher realms. That could be coming through. The 7 energy is very psychic. It's very spiritual when it's in its higher octave. And so we are also working with the 7 energy collectively throughout 2023. So you all are getting a really strong dose of this 7 energy around this full moon. So again, you might see some things, new opportunities to maybe work with more things that are more esoteric at this time, or you may see things come in that feel very like logical, practical, for you to be able to see the truth of something and to make decisions from whatever that is. So it could be a tremendous amount of clarity coming in for you, whether it's through the unseen or through very practical purposes, or a practical channel. Again, to sort of give you the clarity that you need to be able to make the decisions that you need to make for whatever direction you need to take, type thing. So the 7 energy, again, kind of brings the focus into, it can bring it into the need for more solitude. So you may see, twos, that in January you need more solitude. You need more time alone to plan, to think, for self-reflection, whatever the case may be. When you're working in a 7 cycle, as you're going to be for this full moon, big answers can come into those big questions. And so it may be that at this full moon, just a tremendous amount of clarity comes in for you at this time. That's very possible. And so trust whatever comes in for you. And if you need to explore a little bit further, of course, feel free to do that. Now, let's see, January 21st, we have a new moon coming in, and you all are going to be working with the energy of the 4. So you may see around this new moon that wherever it is that you've sort of been rushing through something, or you've been trying to take shortcuts, you might have to revisit whatever that is at this new moon and sort of adjust accordingly. And so it might be that, again, this is going to be like sort of a checkpoint energy for you to see where it is that, again, that you just need to make some adjustments. Maybe you need to make some modifications to however you've been doing something, because this is like foundational energy. And so again, it's going to have you looking at your foundation. It's going to have you looking at what it is that you're building. And are you building something that you actually want? Are you building something that feels good for you? Or are you just overly compromising or overly self-sacrificing in a way to appease others? So this 4 energy coming through, it sort of slows things down because it wants you to pay attention to the finer details. It wants you to pay attention to, again, where you're placing the bricks so that you don't have to go back and fix the structure down the road. So this is like the building block energy. And because it's a new moon, this is sort of the planning stages. So again, it could be something that you've been working on that you now need to revisit some area of that or some step, so that you can, again, make modifications as needed, so that down the road, when you're really far into whatever this is, you don't have to come back and start over. So pay attention to whatever it is that comes in that feels more around the details, something that maybe you feel like you've hit in some kind of like a roadblock, because that roadblock is trying to show you something. It's trying to show you what's not working, so that you can create a different way of doing it so that it does work, right? Or again, if it's showing you a limitation, then it's showing you where it is that maybe you need to call in other experts to assist, right? Working with that 8 energy that we're all working with collectively. in January. So for the 4 energy coming through for you for this new moon twos, there's definitely something here around your foundation, around your particular home. And this can also be your body, the home to your soul, or it can be your physical home. So if you're building a home, or if you, have things that you need to fix with the home, this is going to need your attention around the new moon. So pay attention to that. And make sure you just take care of it. It's not an energy that you need to procrastinate with. If anything, it's a very strong, motivating energy to just dive in, fix whatever needs to be fixed, modify whatever needs to be modified so that it feels good for you, and move on, right? But do it right the first time so that you don't have to keep circling back around. So this new moon might bring into focus where it is that things are not working so that you can make modifications to get them to work, right? Or call in the people that have the expertise to assist you to be able to do that work so that you can move forward in a very stable and secure way. So I do like that this energy is coming in January for you all, because again, it's like setting the stage, like setting the foundation for the next 12 months so that whatever it is that you're building upon this foundation or continuing to build upon this foundation is done in a way that has integrity and can sort of be sustainable. So beautiful energy that you're working with this month. I do think the predominantly what you're going to be focusing on is self, is again, like your independence, and to make sure that you're not losing yourself or your desires or your inspirations in other people, right? I think that's a really big key for twos, especially this month. So make sure that whatever it is that you're building with a partner or with a friend or colleague is what you want to be building, right? Something you want to be a part of. I think that's going to be really, really critical for twos this month, to make sure that whatever it is that you're contributing towards or putting your energy and resources towards is what you actually want. So this energy this month for you all is really sort of allowing you to just take a closer look at that and just make sure that you don't keep moving along a path that you don't want to be on. So again, taking your needs and your desires into consideration and not feeling guilty for that, right? Because not everybody's going to like it, but that's okay. The people who respect it are the ones who need to be on this journey with you at this time. The ones who don't respect it, they can do their own thing. That's okay. So very powerful, very empowering energy coming through for twos this month. So I hope that it is a beautiful January, a beautiful start to 2023 for you all. And thank you so much for being here. Take care, twos. Bye for now.